From the thunderous roar of the stadium to the silent moments that made history, from the dusty fields of Africa to the bright lights of the world stage. This is Sports Echo.
It's volleyed and it's in. A goal in 50 seconds from Milan. Would you believe it? Paolo Maldini, the skipper, has scored it. Here's Kaka. Lifted into Shevchenko. He's onside this time. He's got Crespo in support. Here's Hernan Crespo, 2-0. Hernan Crespo. Look at that from Kaka. And what a pass too for Crespo. And what a goal that is. What a goal that is. Hernan Crespo again. Sublime pass by Kaka. Towards Gerrard! Hello! Here we go! Steven Gerrard puts a grain of doubt in the back of Milan minds and gives hope to all the many thousands
afternoon, sports lovers. This is Sports Echoes on Melody 100.7 FM. On this show, we dive deep into stories behind the scores, the legends, the heartbreaks, the breakthroughs, and the unforgettable moments that shaped sports as we know it today. And also, there's a quiz segment where I ask questions, towards the end of the show. And if you get them, you're going to win something. All right, from Nigerian golden goals to Olympic shocks to African giants that shook the world stage. This show is your backstage pass to the past. I'm going to be bringing you facts, voices, memories, and maybe even a futures as we relive the moments that made fans scream, nations proud, and history take notes. So whether you're in traffic or at home or you're just chilling with your radio, I promise you this, after today, you'll never see sports the same way again. All right, I welcome you in the name of the chairman of Melody FM, Prophet Sam Adebayo Ojo Baba Authority. Eniola Afolabi, is the GM of Melody 100.7 FM. Yes, the general manager of Melody 100.7 FM. Pretty the finest Adegoke is the producer of the show. And also Adenike Adesoye is the studio manager for today. Daniel Adeyemi is right there helping with the streaming, how is going on Facebook and other platforms right there. Engineer Amos 33 doing justice to the engineering. And also Auntie Fee is also in the building. Big shout out to her right there. All right, I'm Akinbobola, Egunfemi. Welcome aboard.
Number 10,
Messi,
number 9,
Shearer,
number 7,
Ronaldo,
number 14,
Thierry Henry,
number 8,
Frank Lampard,
number 18,
Jermaine Defoe,
32,
Josh Kimmich, there you go. Messi,
number 9,
Shearer,
number 7,
Ronaldo,
number 14,
Thierry Henry,
number 8,
Frank Lampard,
number 18,
Jermaine Defoe,
32,
Josh Kimmich, there you go.
Right, that was the voice of Harry Kane doing football number sections right there. Now, they asked him a question. Now, which one of these players would you attach these iconic numbers to? And he mentioned the likes of Lionel Messi, mentioned the likes of Defoe, and all of them. And now, it brings me to this topic, the origins of iconic numbers in football. So today at Sport Echoes, the topic is the origins of iconic numbers. Now, many people talk about the number 10 jersey, the number 7 jersey, and also, familiar numbers, number 2, number 6, the defensive midfielders, and all of it. And we're going to talk about how everything started. Now, who did all of these names get along with? Now, you talk about Pele, you talk about the number 10, Lionel Messi right now in the wood. You always attach that number 10 to Lionel Messi and a couple of other players. And now, number 10 and number 7 jerseys are the most iconic. You talk about Ronaldo, Messi, Pele, Maradona. So today on Sport Echoes, now, I'm going to be talking about the origins of those numbers. Now, before football became the billion-dollar spectacle we know today, there was simplicity. No names on jerseys, no flashy boots, just passion and numbers. Numbers weren't chosen for fame. They were assigned by position, a system, simple, logical, but unknowingly destined to create legends. In the early formations, like the classic 2-3-5, each player wore a number to match their role. Yes, the number 1, as usual, went to the goalkeeper. Number 2 to 5 were defenders, 6 to 8 were midfielders, and then came the forwards, 9, 10, and 11. Now, before then, number 7 wasn't attached to forwards. Before, it was 6 to 8. That's 6, 7, and 8 for midfielders. Right now, we use 6, 8, 10 for midfielders. But then, it was 6, 7, 8 for midfielders. And in forwards, it was 9, 10, 11. Very, very easy at that point in time. So attach these numbers to players. So 2 to 5 defenders, 6 to 8 midfielders, and then came forwards, 9, 10, and 11. And that was where the magic began. So the number 7 was usually the right winger, the fast, fiery, unpredictable player who stretched defenders and delivered crosses. He was the spark, the showman, the one who brought fans to the feet. Yes, the number 10 on the other hand stood just behind the main striker. He was the creator, the brain, the artist, controlling the rhythm, treading impossible passes, and shaping the story of the game. So while number 7 symbolized speed and daring, number 10 represented vision and genius. As football grew in popularity, these numbers began to take on personalities of their own. Now, when Pele won number 10, as football grew in popularity, these numbers began to take on personalities of their own. When Pele wore the number 10 for Brazil in the 1958 World Cup, the world saw what that number could mean: magic, mastery, and leadership. So it was Pele, that number 10, was attached to the very first. It was the very first person the number 10 was attached to. Now, he did that in the 1958 World Cup, as the world saw what the number could mean: magic, mastery, and leadership. Although I wasn't born then, but I saw clips, so many people talk about how legendary the man Pele is. He didn't just play football, he defined it. And not long after, players wearing number 7 began to embody flair and fire. Then came the likes of George Best at Manchester United, whose style made fans fall in love with the game all over again. The numbers were no longer just identifiers, they became identities. Every child playing barefoot on dusty pitches dreamed of wearing either number 7 or number 10, because those numbers promised something greater: the chance to be remembered. I remember when I started playing football, I always liked the number 10 jersey, and that time I would always mention Ronaldinho. Yes, I was always mentioning Messi, a couple of players, because they wore that iconic number. I remember celebrating like Kaka, when that celebration that he would raise his 2 hands up, raising it to the heavens. I did that when I was really, really young, and it was just because of the number, how it was being classified when I was growing up. Many people would say the number 10 is the best player of any team. So from those humble beginnings, these digits grew into symbols of football royalty: the right-wing dynamo and the playmaking artist. 2 numbers, 2 destinies, forever etched in football's DNA. Yes. All right, moving to the next segment, the magic of number 10. All right, if football had a heartbeat, it would be the rhythm of the number 10 jersey. Just like I explained earlier, that I love that number so much because of how it was being classified, the best number, the players that wore that number. You talk about Kaka, you talk about Messi, you talk about very, very good players. In fact, even now, you see top players still want to get the number 10 jersey. You see Mbappe, he wears the number 10 jersey. A lot of players love the number 10 jersey because of how it was being classified right from time. If football had a heartbeat, it would be the rhythm of the number 10 jersey. The number isn't just stitched onto a shirt, it's woven into the soul of the game. It belongs to dreamers, creators, of the artists who see what others can't. From the moment Pele danced across Swedish pitches in 1958, the number 10 became sacred. He was only 17, but he carried a nation's hope, and with every touch, he showed the world what football could feel like. Alright, then came Diego Maradona, a player who didn't just wear the number, he lived it. Short, stocky, full of fire and fight, Maradona turned football into theater in 1986. With the world watching, he scored the goal of the century, weaving past defenders like a magician, escaping a spell. The number 10 on his back wasn't just fabric, it was fate right there. Then came Zinedine Zidane, grace in human form. Every pass, every touch was a poetry written on grass. For Zidane, the number 10 meant elegance, control, intelligence, balance. I remember when I saw the clip of Zidane dancing in the middle of the park of Brazilian midfielders right there. Showed dominance, class. Talk about Real Madrid, you always mention Zidane. In fact, he retired. They had to bring it back to the national team of France. It could only be the number 10 jersey for Zidane right there. And then the samba arrived. Ronaldinho, with his ever-present smile, made football joyful again. A reminder the world that number 10 isn't only about winning, it's about enjoying the game. Now you can see the legacy from Pele to Maradona, Zinedine Zidane. I talked about Ronaldinho, and I'm certain most of you would expect the next guy. And then came a boy from Rosario, Argentina, Lionel Messi. Quiet, humble, almost shy, but when the ball touched his feet, the world stood still. Messi didn't chase fame, he became it. His number 10 shirt at Barcelona and Argentina carried the weight of legends before him, and somehow he wore it as if it was made of air. Now, looking at the list of players, just like I said earlier, Pele, Maradona, Zinedine Zidane, Ronaldinho, now Lionel Messi, it goes to show that the number 10 has always been more than just a jersey. It's a crown for kings of creativity. Every era has its artist in different language, but all telling the same story. And most people think football is all about scoring. It's all about the strikers. It's all about scoring goals. When you score goals, you're always in the books. But for me, I think football is not just about scoring. It's about creating magic. Because, I mean, when you think about the strikers getting the goals, who creates most of those goals? It has to be the midfielders. It has to be some of those players. And you know, the iconic number 10, you talk about Messi, I mean, he has the highest assist right now. Ronaldinho, known for his dribblings, creativity. Zinedine Zidane, known for his creativity. Maradona. And one thing about a number 10 is they know how to assist as well as score. So football is not just about scoring, it's also about creating magic. And yes, not to forget that even in Africa, we saw top guys who actually wore the number 10 jersey and showed dominance. JJ Okocha, with his dazzling footwork, made defenders dance to his rhythm. And there's also Abedi Pele of Ghana, carried the number 10 with power and pride, a pioneer of African brilliance. The proof that the number 10 wasn't reserved for Europe or South America, it belongs to everyone or anyone with creativity in their soul. I mean, just going through the list of number 10s mentioned earlier, classy players. You come to Africa, also top players in Nigeria. Everyone, young, old, would always talk about JJ Okocha, his dazzling footwork, free kicks. At some point, he was making defenders dance. Top guy right there. And right now, it's not looking all rosy for the number 10 or even the Super Eagles. I mean, we can't even attach, the number 10 with any player, because in the Super Eagles right now, one of the things they lack is creativity, and everyone has been spelling it out. Maybe very soon or one day we're going to see somebody who's going to get that iconic number 10 and represent us so well in the Super Eagles. I mean, displaying creativity, the magic in the middle of the park. Maybe Iwobi can do it, but, well, I still think we can get another player or a better player who can do all of those things, just like the way Mikel Obi would do the dazzling in the middle, JJ Okocha. Maybe someday or very soon we'll get a player who will do that magic for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. All right, to this third segment, that's the power of the number 7. Yes, I talked about number 10. Now is the number 7 jersey. Now, if the number 10 is the artist, then the number 7 is the warrior. Now, where 10 paints, 7 conquers. Is the number of pace, pride, and passion. I call it the 3 P's. Pace, pride, and passion, worn by those who refuse to laugh. All right. Long before it became a global symbol, the number 7 was simply the mark of a right winger, the speed merchant on the flank, tearing down defenders. But as football evolved, so did the number 7 evolve too. It became a badge of charisma, a number of bold and fearless strikers right there. Just like we saw Pele in 1960, a young man from Belfast changed everything. Judge, best, flair, style, and mischief rolled into one. Best wasn't just a footballer, it was a rock and roll on grass. Now, with his long hair and fearless dribbling, it made the number 7 very, very cool. And then came the Frenchman Eric Cantona with his popped collar and poetic arrogance. He brought drama and dominance to Manchester United, the kind of player who made you believe that confidence was a weapon. And there was also David Beckham, who took over the number 7. He gave it global glamour, precision crosses, Hollywood free kicks, movie star, fame. Beckham turned number 7 into a brand. Now, before I talk about the number 7 jersey, let's go on to listen to the voice of David Beckham talking about the fact that number 7 for him was so iconic.
Being on holiday in Malta and my phone ringing, it's the boss. We're signing Teddy Sheringham, we're taking the number 10. And I was like, no boss, I had a great season in this number 10. No, doesn't matter, see you in a few weeks, David. And that was it. Then I arrived back to training and the boss says, by the way, you got number 7. And I was like, oh. Wearing the number 7 of Cantona and Brian Robson and George Best, I never felt the pressure. I was just so happy to actually wear number 7.
The number 23, was this the reason for it?
I moved to Real Madrid. Number 7 was Raul. I would never obviously even think about asking for number 7. I would never have got it anyway. So I just said, I'm a huge fan of Jordan. I've always loved him. Can I have 23? They said, yeah, you can have 23, and that's how it all started. But then when I went to Milan, 23 wasn't available, number 7 wasn't available, so I was like, well, I also love Magic Johnson, who was 32. So I took the number 32, and I had that for Milan, and then I had it for PSG as well. I remember being on holiday in Malta and my phone ringing, it's the boss. We're signing Teddy Sheringham, we're taking the number 10. And I was like, no boss, I had a great season in this number 10. No, doesn't matter, see you in a few weeks, David. And that was it. Then I arrived back to training and the boss says, by the way, you got number 7. And I was like, oh. Wearing the number 7 of Cantona and Brian Robson and George Best, I never felt the pressure. I was just so happy to actually wear number 7.
The number 23, was this the reason for it?
I moved to Real Madrid. Number 7 was Raul. I would never obviously even think about asking for number 7. I would never have got it anyway. So I just said, I'm a huge fan of Jordan. I've always loved him. Can I have 23? They said, yeah, you can have 23, and that's how it all started. But then when I went to Milan, 23 wasn't available, number 7 wasn't available, so I was like, well, I also love Magic Johnson, who was 32. So I took the number 32, and I had that for Milan, and then I had it for PSG as well.
So that was David Beckham talking about the fact that number 7 was so iconic, and in fact, when he moved to Real Madrid, he wanted the number 7. Well, he made a certain tough guy, very good player, Raul, definitely. Maybe he just had to humble himself, and he decided to stick with number 23 because of a certain player in basketball, Magic Johnson. Now, this is what numbers can do to you. The effect on numbers. In fact, David Beckham had to, because of the way he admired Magic Johnson, had to pick a number. So, for me, I think these numbers are, it's not just numbers. It means a lot to some of these players. And even young kids, you see everyone rushing from the number 7 jersey, the number 10. And the funny thing is, it was many or very few iconic players that actually made this number stand out right there in the world of football. Now, still talking about the number 7 jersey, relentless, ruthless, and every sprint, every goal screamed ambition. He didn't just wear the number, he built an empire around it. Now, from Manchester United to Madrid, Turin to Saudi Arabia, Ronaldo turned CR7 into a global identity. I mean, you talk about Messi, number 10, talk about number 7 for Ronaldo in recent times. So for CR7, it turned it into a global identity. It showed that the number 7 isn't just about skill, it's about attitude. Even if I talk about Europe, I would always want to talk about Africa. So, the story doesn't end in Europe. In Africa, number 7 also shine bright. You talk about Ahmed Musa, Nigeria's Super Eagles captain, fearless, fast, and full of heart, carried the number 7 with pride at the World Cup, scoring goals that lifted the nation. Across the continent, there's a certain man, Sadio Mane in Senegal, the number 7 continues to mean drive, energy, and leadership. The number 7 belongs to those who fight for every inch, those who never back down, those who play not just with their feet, but with their fire. So when the number 7 runs down the wing, the crowd rises to its feet. You know what's coming, speed, skill, and something special. Now look at the trajectory. Judge Best to David Beckham, Ronaldo. Some would actually say, is this boy a Manchester United fan? Why is he just saying players? Why is he just mentioning players from Manchester United? Well, definitely you can't take away the fact that during those eras, it was Manchester United dominating football at large. And you can see the sequence from Judge Best to David Beckham to Cristiano Ronaldo. So the number 7 isn't just one, it's owned. And every time it hits the pitch, it reminds the world that greatness isn't given, it's earned. taking these two numbers together in football, every number tells a story, but two numbers tell the story of the game itself. Number 7, number 10. They represent two sides of the same coin: power and poetry, drive and design, ambition and artistry. The number 7 is the storm, explosive, passionate, relentless, the player who never gives up, who thrives under pressure, who plays like the crowds, raw falls every step. Meanwhile, the number 10 is the calm, without storm, the thinker, the creator, the one who passes time just long enough to see a pass no one else could imagine. Trying to ask myself, now, with all of these things I've said, would I actually prefer number 7 to number 10? I think I'll still have to stick with number 10, I guess. I know signing Ronaldo fans will not be happy with this, but I think number 10 for me, looking at the players that have won the number 10 jersey, you talk about Pele, Maradona, these are iconic players, legends. Names that we still mention even till now. Pele is late, Maradona is late, and we still talk about those names today. I know that, George Best, a solid guy. David Beckham, still very much solid. Ronaldo, yes, on top. For Daniel Adeyemi, Daniel will continue to say, it's Ronaldo. But I think for me, I would still want to be the creator. Yeah, so maybe in a sports crew of Melody FM, finest is probably the captain, number 5. Number 10, the creator. And Daniel Adeyemi, yes, the number 7 is going to act as a striker, the goal scorer of the team. So it shows internal balance of football. One runs faster, the other one thinks faster. One breaks walls, the other paints pictures. Now, think about the great debate of our era: Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. Ronaldo, the perfect 7. In fact, they call him CR7. The number 7 is attached to his name, so it's CR7. Yes, Ronaldo, the perfect 7, built on discipline, drive, and determination. A player who refused to be ordinary. And for Messi, the perfect number 10, born with vision, grace, and instinct. A player who made extraordinary look as simple. All right, the different parts, same greatness. Ronaldo, number 7, screams power. Messi, number 10, whispers genius. Together, they prove that there isn't anyone. Both of them are legendary, so we're not picking. This time, there's no debate. There are other people that would like to jump on the debate. Messi is better than Ronaldo. We're not doing it here. We're talking about the iconic numbers. And I feel like right now, those are the guys retaining the legacy. Messi still doing justice to what Pele did in 1958, and also Ronaldo keeping up with the number 7. Look at the trajectory of Manchester United, just like I mentioned, and it didn't dip. David Beckham was top. In fact, Ronaldo did it better. And this rivalry isn't just about two men, it's about what football gives us: the fighter, the dreamer, the fire, and the flair. Even beyond the stars, the tradition continues. Every young player stepping onto the pitch dreams of one question. Just like I said earlier, will I wear the number 7 or the number 10? But make I no lie, you, for me it was number 10. But still, top big ups to the guys that always love the number 7. But I have to pick a number this time. Number 10 was what I always loved. Then secondary school, even in the university, I would always want to play the number 10 role and wear the number 10 jersey. And when I wear the number 10 jersey, it's fire. Instead of even thinking about playing football, when it's time to do the workout, when it's time to do the jogging, I'll be forming big boy because I know I'm wearing the number 10. Now, people from outside will look, number 10, yeah, kilo shell now. Now, because they expect so much from the number 10, they believe that even if I don't know this player's name, the number 10, the number 7 should be good. And then I remember my brother then, Selika, now plays football professionally. He wears the number 7 then, so it was combination. Then it was Bobola number 10 and Selika number 7. So, I mean, it goes to show how iconic these numbers are. Because those numbers don't just define how you play, they define who you are. Just like I said, people then, they didn't want to know the names of the player. They just said, Bobo number 7, yeah. You know, in Yoruba, they say, this number 7 good, or if it's bad, this their number 10 no really good. They don't even care about other numbers. I'm not trying to say that other numbers are not iconic, but the number 10 and number 7 would always differ because people expect so much from those numbers. So I talked about the fact that people always expect so much from people wearing or players wearing of that number. The number 7 and number 10 have done more than identify players. They've told stories of flair, fire, genius, and all of it. The number 10 gave us visionaries, players who saw the game before it happened. Talk about Pele, Maradona, Zidane, Ronaldinho. Each one of them were artists, are painting moments which we'll never forget right there. Every pass, every feint, every goal, every bush stroke on football's greatest canvas. The number 7 gave us warriors, players who fought, who led, who inspired. Judge Best, Eric Cantona, David Beckham, Cristiano Ronaldo. Each one brought passion, charisma, and belief. So I've been talking about other numbers. Now, beyond number 7 and number 10, they are also iconic numbers. So let me do justice there because I've been praising number 7, I've been praising number 10. I mean, they're also iconic numbers. We talk about the goalkeepers. Number 1, you have to also have them. The number 9, you talk about Rashidi Yekini, Victor Osimhen. I mean, these numbers are also very much important. Ronaldo, Van Basten, Lewandowski, Holland. I mean, they're also iconic number. So I don't want to be selfish on just dealing with number 7 and number 10. On this segment, I'm going to be talking about the other iconic numbers. Now, let's take number 1. It's not about scoring goals, it's about stopping them. From Lev Yashin's black cap to Buffon's gloves to Manuel Neuer's sweeper saves. Number 1 stands for courage, composure, and calm. Under pressure is the heartbeat of every defense. So big shout out to every number 1 out there, local, professional. I mean, people that want to be goalkeepers, because most of the times it's usually goalkeepers that wear the number 1. Also, there's the number 9. That's the hunter, the predator in the box. The number worn by Van Basten, Ronaldo, Nazario, Lewandowski, and Holland. They live for one thing: the nets. Cold, clinical, unstoppable. The number 8 tells another story. Midfield maestros, balance, rhythm, energy. Steven Gerrard, Andre Iniesta, Frank Lampard. They connect defense and attack, the silent engines of the game. Number 8 make football flow. Now, when you talk about the connection in the middle of the park, the number 10, you have to also give it to number 8 because, I mean, they help to connect defense to attack and also support number 10. And let's not forget the number 11, once the symbol of classic wingers, speed, flair, wide runs down the flank. From Ryan Giggs to Neymar, number 11 is artistry in motion. Every number has a soul, a story, a legend behind it. So whether it's number 1, number 7, number 8, number 9, number 11, our jerseys carry dreams, pressure, and drive. Yes, dreams, pressure and pride, because in football, numbers aren't just stitched on the back, they are written in history. So it's not all about the number 7 and number 10 jersey. Every number is iconic. I mean, every number has a legend who has won it. I mean, but we are just talking about, today on Sport Echoes, I'm just talking about how iconic number 7 and number 10 is, because, I mean, the legends behind it, I mean, they are the ones that will probably say they made football classic, they made football iconic. You talk about Maradona, Pele, even till now, we still talk about the legends. Some of their records are not broken. Ronaldo right now, the highest goal scorer in the history of football. Messi is also up there chasing him. In terms of assists, you have to give it to Messi. So, I mean, it's been like that for many years. So it goes to show how iconic these numbers can be. It's time for the quiz segments where I ask questions, and if you get them, you're gonna win something. All right, the studio lines are 070-2520-107, 070-2520-107. You can as well call 070-5507-107, 070-5507-107. Now 070-2520-107. You can as well call 070-5507-107. Let's talk about some of those iconic numbers. Your favorite player to ever wear the number 10, number 7 jersey. In fact, any number. Yes, when it comes to football. And for me, I always liked the number 10. I talked about the fact that Messi, Pele, I've thought reading stories of Pele, Maradona. I mean, I grew up to just love that number 10 because, I mean, I always like to support, you understand? And anybody that likes to support would love to create a football. They call number 10s the assist merchants. And yes, I'm going to be asking you about questions on the two numbers. Now, I'll mention a player's name, and you would have to tell me where and when he wore the number. All right, we have a caller right there.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
Moses from Akobo.
Moses from Akobo.
Yeah.
All right, before we head straight to the quiz segment, which one of the two numbers do you like so much?
Number 10.
Number 10. Okay, so you play football, yeah?
Yeah, I play football.
Not on the professional level, but how many assists have you given in recent time?
Not so much.
Not so much. All right, let's head straight to the quiz segment. All right, pick a number from 1 to 20.
Number 5.
Number 5. All right. So which Ukrainian striker made the number 7 shirt legendary at AC Milan?
Andriy Shevchenko.
Okay, you're correct. So I'll read out my number.
Okay.
After, towards the end of the show, then you call it, and I'll reach out to you afterwards.
All right, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for calling.
Yeah, welcome.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah, my name is Jacob, and I'm calling you from Odife Road in Ibadan. Yeah.
Oh, good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. So, all right. Before we head straight to the quiz segment, which one of the two numbers do you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now. Yes.
All right. So, before we head straight,
I love number 7.
you love
Yes,
number
I love
7.
number 7.
Why, sir? Why, sir?
Because Ronaldo is my hero worship.
Ah, wow.
Yeah.
That's really, really nice. All right. So let's head straight to the quiz segment.
Please. When I was in school,
Okay.
I used to play as a goalkeeper. And I was very good at it.
Oh,
But even that time now, football was not, it was seen as if, you know, people didn't see it as kind of competition that one should be dedicated to.
okay.
So that was how a lot of interest in it. We were rather encouraged to go to business rather than football.
Okay. But which one of those goalkeepers did you like then that inspired you to be a goalkeeper?
That insurance of Red Devil, because I'm a Man U fan.
Okay.
This keeper that came from Zimbabwe and nationalized in England, James. Is it James? Yes, it's James. James.
Okay, sir. All right, so
Those
sir.
are my two best keepers.
All right, sir. So
Let's go. I picked number 7.
number 7. Okay, so which African legend wore number 9 and became the first African to win the Ballon d'Or?
George Weah.
Okay, so you're correct. So I'll read out my number and we'll talk after the show, sir.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much for calling.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Keep up the good work.
Yeah.
I'll be expecting you by 3.
All right.
Because I always enjoy the way you analyze that sport. It's very sweet.
All right,
Thank you
sir.
very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. This is David from Ojo.
David from Roger. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
So we're talking about number 7 and number 10 jerseys. Now, which one of them do you like the most?
I think number 10 for me.
Number 10.
Number 10.
Why do you like it so much?
I think for me, they are like the key to every game that team plays. They
Okay.
control the tempo. They
Okay.
are responsible for creating goals for the attackers to score.
Okay.
So I think they are one of the important command.
Okay. Which one of your favorite players wears the number 10 right now?
I think Lionel Messi.
Okay.
He's good.
All right. So pick a number from 1 to 20.
Number 7.
Number 7.
Number 7. Yeah.
All right. So, which Serbian defender? Are you listening?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Which Serbian defender won number 15 at Manchester United and formed a solid? I'm not going to mention the player's name, but he formed a rock solid partnership with a certain player.
Okay.
It's a,
Vidic.
okay, you're correct. Everybody just win it today. All right, I'll read out my number and we'll reach out. We'll talk after the show.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right. So far, 3 out of 3. I mean, really, really nice. It's nice to see players or people talk about the fact that certain numbers were iconic to them. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
What's your name by where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Michael from Gate.
Michael from Gate. So we're talking about numbers today. Which one of the two numbers do you like the most?
Yeah, I think I like Messi.
Okay, so it's number 10 for you.
Yes, number 10.
Okay, so let's head straight to the quiz segment. So pick a number from...
So please help me. Let me make it 4 out of 4 too.
Okay, so just pick a number. Let's see.
Okay, give me number 10.
Number 10. Okay, so which Portuguese Brazilian midfielder wore number 20 for FC Porto and Barcelona, known for his vision and control?
That's Figo.
Huh?
Is that Figo? Is Figo?
No, not Figo. You're wrong. You can try again. All right, thank you so much for calling.
All right.
It's time to go on the program today. Special thanks to Adenike Adese, who is the studio manager for today. Daniel Adeyemi is helping out the production. I mean, seeing me live on Facebook and YouTube is all Daniel Adeyemi doing justice to that. Amos 33 is art at the engineering. And yes, a special thanks to the producer of this show. That's Pretty the Finest Adegoke, and the general manager of Melody 100.7 FM, Eniola Afolabi, the sports marshal. And also, yes, the chairman of Melody FM, Prophet Sam Adebayo Joe Baba Authority. Thank you so much, sir, for this platform. I do not take it for granted. And until later today, that's 3 p.m. to 5 on Complete Sports, when I come your way again. I'm Akinbobola, Egunfemi. Good afternoon.